We're going to talk about reaching customers online with Google, but really what this is about, let me go back. It's about number one, just leveling the playing field. That's the mission of Google, is technology is a democratizing force. And it is. Had this pandemic happened in any other space and time the way it did, I don't know who would actually have a job. I wouldn't. Tell you that right now. I definitely would have been part of the population that, my job would have been completely, immediately eradicated. So very fortunate to work in technology and to be able to, as it says here, build better products and drives economic impact for all. Well, who am I? This is our team. We're a Google Digital Coaches Program. It's 11 of us now, with 3 additional new cities coming on board, with the commitment through Google to increase diversity and especially attention to the Black community. And my job is to focus on bridging the digital divide for minority small businesses, nonprofits, brands, and for me, the community as a whole. So which is going right back to my question, like, hey, what do you want to talk about? Like, I'm probably that person, and if you haven't seen me speak before, I like to consider myself keeping it real, going right. And I say that because I think there are a lot of issues that are not addressed and does not speak from the lens that I think resonates most effectively. So here I am. That was at a conference. I was very excited to get into that belt. Just know that. Veteran in the digital marketing space, and now you're Google Digital Coach. That direct link down at the bottom is how you get to all my Google classes. But if you follow me everywhere on social media, and I gave you my link tree in the chat, you can pretty much keep up with me. And just to let you know, man, Monday is going to be super dope. One of my classes that will feature Brian Brackeen upcoming session is going to be phenomenal, because this brother just closed on $23 million for underrepresented founders with his venture capitalist firm, Lightship Capital, and they actually focus on minorities in the Midwest area, him and his wife. So they were featured today in the Wall Street Journal. Sign up for that. He's getting ready to drop some gems. Not to mention, I will be his first interview upon this announcement. So it really worked out great timing for me. Again, there's my link tree. Click on the link, register, and you're good to go. Where are we at? Okay, so let me keep the party going. Bridging the digital divide. Now, it'd be interesting to see what these numbers are, across the board, where women and minorities represent 70% of all U.S. small business owners. So many small businesses went out of business. I wonder, though, is the number still going to go up? But here's the one critical thing that I believe all of us, to a certain degree, whether you're a small business owner or you're on the consumer end, it's too complicated. There's a lot going on. I don't know how to do online marketing, or you feel as though you don't know how to properly navigate everything. Hold on, you guys, I got to take a quick snapshot, because this is part of my world too. We create and capture moments in this online virtual world, but we're going to skip past this little video. So what we're going to talk about is the significance of a Google profile. Talk about the tour, what that looks like, and then creating the business profile. And let me tell you why that's important. Because Google basically right now is acting as a website for your business, for your brand, for you as a human being. If you have not ever Googled your name, do it. You'll be amazed. Make sure you're not coming up associated with some people that probably have nothing to do with you. But a couple of things, let me back up, that are really important is that 2.7 times more are people more likely to consider reputable of your business information up to date on your profile. And to be honest with you, most people want to buy and shop locally. I think that is definitely the case now, in addition to, of course, what you'll find in national brands. But up until the pandemic, 50% were more likely to lead to a purchase is on a map. Well, Google My Business sets it up where you are not, when you're doing search, you also appear across the maps, images, and pretty much everywhere else. let's see, I was just tuning in a little bit at the same time. So let's take a tour of Google My Business, and I'm gonna try to see what you guys are asking at the same time. I see some chats, but I'll keep going. So I do see a couple of things. Great. So I'm not sure if you're seeing this in the webinar chat. I'm gonna put it over to the side, but I'll definitely be able to get to some of these questions. I'll try to chime in at the same time. So if you weren't clear, the anatomy of a Google business profile is as such, right? Photos, videos, reviews, quick links, description, location, and category. What's important about that is the category piece. And that's because oftentimes, depending upon what category you are part of, it will actually limit some of your features. So you have to be cognizant of what category you fall in. This is the back end. Google My Business is free, okay? It is equivalent to in your outside version, outside facing world. This is like your Gmail, okay? Everybody's got one. Your business has a Google My Business profile. Whether you claim it and manage it is up to you. But please know that Google, like with everything else, is taking the information. If it has designated and seen that you are a viable business and certain information has come through pretty much from across the entire web, you're going to have a profile, and it will behoove you to manage it. So how do you get there? Google.com/business. So you can download the app and you can start this way. So what can you do with Google My Business? So number one, the big thing is being able to modify your hours and your direct information. People want to know, when are you open? Okay. If you're open, let me call to see if they have what I want. Oh, they have what I want? Let me get some directions to the place. Right now during the pandemic, Google My Business profiles probably were a lifeline for many in terms of tracking the data and the information, the calls and directions. Another big one that people, if you have not claimed your profile, you may have not known, is that 90% of customers are more likely to visit that has photos. During the pandemic, if you think about it, all they had were photos. If somebody needed something for you and you fit the description in the mold and all they had were videos or photos, that may have been the determining factor of them using, you working with them for business. In addition to that, here's a new feature that ties into very similarly like your social media profiles. You can actually create a short link. So I kind of feel like this is a little bit out of order, but it is what it is. But when you're able to create a short link to be able to, create your, to be able to have it where people can get to you easier. And then that way, again, it's almost anonymous in your branding. So what happens when people read and respond to reviews? So this is number one. When you have I'm sorry, you guys, I'm looking at the presentation. I just had to come out for a minute because something seemed a little off in terms of the flow. I'm gonna keep going, but it just caught me a little bit off guard. Hold on, I'm sorry. I just wanted to go back. Anatomy. I apologize. I'm gonna go back into it. I've done this enough where something just threw me off guard. But anyway, I keep going. So when it comes to really getting your profile to resonate within Google, what's important, number one, is reviews. Again, everybody's commenting and giving feedback. And what you didn't know when you have Google My Business set up properly, a lot of times people want to know or say, oh, somebody reviewed me on Google, I didn't even know it. Well, now you'll get the notifications. It actually gives you the opportunity to respond, which of course builds brand loyalty. So this is where you can get more reviews. More reviews are actually really encouraged because Google actually uses reviews as part of their algorithm. The more reviews you get, the more relevant you are, the more they want to say, hey, let's recommend this business because people seem to be engage with it. It has great reviews and we want to connect with them. So one of the things also that you can do that you may have not known that you could do with Google My Business is post updates directly on your business profile. This is big because, again, I told you at the beginning, it's somewhat operating like a website. Where here's a perfect example. On these post updates directly on your business profile, there are several types of post examples that you can do. What's new? So you're just giving general information, who you are, a product with the ability to drive sales, and offer, discount codes and all, and also feature events. So if you can do what's new, product offers, and events all on Google, imagine when somebody is searching and they don't have to find that on social media, or they don't have to find that on Eventbrite. It's a big deal. Having this information loaded directly into the Google search, again, is increasing your relevancy. In addition to that, for my customers who need to book appointments, or your customers that need to book appointments, you can do it straight through here. Just like Google Meet, what happens is we have our own platform where you can book appointments through the profile. So in addition, now that's another big deal, is people are able to follow and receive a welcome offer. People who follow your business see updates, offers, and photos across Google and in the maps for you. That is another big one that was recently released. When you are able to have yourself featured on maps, you will be amazed. So what's happening is when they scroll over the map, they will actually see your offer and you'll pop up with more pictures. A perfect example of that is I don't know if you guys have heard, but like the museums during the pandemic were able to, were featuring tours within the museum and different things like that for engagement. It's the same, you have the same capabilities to feature that type of interactive experience with maps. Just know that the world, after what has happened with the pandemic, we're going to an augmented reality, virtual reality world. So that's just a little heads up that you also need to be considering, what is your future in business look like in engagement? Because as I was asking from the beginning, how do I keep you engaged, or what would make you attend? And, are these Zoom calls becoming too much? You got to add on something else. So the next part is, yes, you can use messaging to communicate. Setting up messaging in Google My Business app, customers can send messages that appear in the app. So now, just like with Google phone calls and Google Analytics, you have something cloaked and they can respond directly to you through Google. Again, the objective is not just to get them to your website. At one point, it was to get them to your website to increase your chances of making a sale. Well, Google actually has put on a layer that actually will increase these chances because their interaction is at ground zero. And it's in a place that behaviorally they're used to working and connecting to. Now, I don't go over get a free website a lot. A lot of you all probably have a website. And the other part is if you needed something simple, great, you can get a free website with Google. I can tell you in terms of some of the limitations, everybody's a star. Google, let's just say, we cool, but the website part you can definitely use, but for some of the sophistication and interfacing, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. So something to keep as an option. It's a great starting point, something simple. And again, it easily ties into your Google My Business and you can operate it there. For my people who are listening to this and in your mind, you're like, yep, one more thing for me to manage, knock it out the park with that. You don't have to manage it by yourself. This does allow you the opportunity to manage users and add people to support in roles and positions to get the information. Actually, let me go back. So they have the opportunity to be an owner, manager, site manager, and basically it just determines what they can and cannot see and what they can respond to. So owners, of course, can see everything. Managers have limitations in editing capacities and approval authorities, and of course, site managers can only respond in a couple of areas. Working with insights. If you are not familiar with Google Analytics, hopefully you are, but if you are not, it's basically the keys to the data in the background that the world lives on. Pretty much every tool in the world connects to Google Analytics. It is extremely important. It is extremely important for you to have Google Analytics enabled. However, if you don't even have it enabled and you're becoming more aware and just getting into this space and zone, well, Google My Business is still tracking and providing analytics and insights for you. How do searchers find you? How do they interact with your profile? Again, you will be amazed at how many people call you, request directions, and visit your website. And you actually do get those phone numbers. Where did your customers come from? What days have the most activity? Those are all great things that you need to know for your business. So how do you get started? You can type in, as you can see here, google.com business /, and what's going to happen is, what's going to happen is you're going to sign into your Google account, and you're going to go ahead and get started. You can start, and then you're going to type in the business and name as it appears down the list. And then it should find your business and confirm the business. If it's spelled correctly, hit next. If it's not, you go ahead and enter it. You have to select a business category that is listed within Google. Let's see, a business category that fits best for your business. That is done because what you need to understand is, as much freedom as you have in one aspect, when it comes to data, it has to be controlled. If everybody spelled the same word 10,000 different ways, you wouldn't be able to consistently, ask questions or track the data, because it will be all over the place. So there are limitations in terms of what you can pick. However, that's not that big of a deal. Most people, it's not something to complain about. Do you have a location customers visit? Yes, if you want to add a location. No, if the business delivers good or services to customers at their location. Listen, if you do not have a location, it's okay. Hit no. That's not a bad thing. When you hit no, then what it allows you to do is, even in the map area, you still will come up with a parameter in the local area. Enter the address. You can still enter an address, and then you can also enter a service area. So again, that allows you to have opportunity to, even if you are doing more of a local business, you can still take advantage of many of these features here. Enter your business contact info. What contact details do you want to show customers? You can have a cloak phone number, of course, connect your URL. And then you're going to go into the place to verify. So what's going to happen is that you're going to get a postcard. Wherever that postcard is going, make sure you pick it up between 5 to 7 days. And that way you enter in the code. And once you do that to verify, to connect to your business, you'll basically be able to go in and go into the background and begin changing everything. So your next steps is, number one, go to google.com /business to find out if you have your account verified. You're going to update the information to begin with connecting with customers, and then really learn how to engage with your customers and what they're looking for through insights. And the next step, I would tell you, set up your Google Analytics account. You have to go to analytics.google.com. If you have not done that and enable, you're not getting all of the tracking features that is so robust that it's like crazy. But you will also need what they call a GA code, which is your Google Analytics code. For those of you who might use like, I was gonna say Spotify. Shopify, Shopify, Etsy, and all of those type of things. Even if you have a WordPress site and you use Yoast, like they're all using Google Analytics in order to gather data. Again, google.com/business, claim your profile, postcard to come in the mail. And in the meantime, start looking at what some of your competitors are doing, and you know, figure out what you want to say about your business and some of those features. Let's see. These are just some other links. Hey, this is a good one. Grow My Store, personalized tips for improving your online store. If you did not know, I believe Shopify, don't correct me, Shopify, I believe, and Google just came together with some free listings. So if you did not know, you can have a full store on Google, full store. I believe they are waiving some fees from the pandemic. You do have to dig a little bit deeper into that. So again, great way to boost your business with a quick and easy evaluation of your retail website and the different types. But Google My Business Google Stores is a great way for you to get additional exposure. You might not want to put all your products on there, but having some on there that maybe be hot or top picks for your business may be great. And in terms of just, let me go back. In terms of understanding where you can get more information, google.com/grow. This is actually a collaboration of a lot of Google tools. You'll find my programs there in addition to all of my counterparts around the United States, and other types of information that, you know, we can provide to support your growth. And all of these courses or whatnot are free. So I'm going to come out of my screen now so I can actually talk to y'all. All right, because I saw my stuff lighten up. All right, so let me go back to the top and let's see. So where I'm gonna start from the top. Did pretty good, 30 minutes. I know I was talking fast. You guys can start typing in here now, and we can start having a dialogue to text conversation. Suddenly, a set of keywords went from 40 clicks a day to 5, and the only change I made was changing cost per click from $5.10 to $5. Thoughts and reasons why. Competition of the word, the design is something like that. It's something changed. It may have gotten suppressed. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in the CPC world, but pretty much that generally is related to behavior of what is going on in that industry and what is now important to people. Panelists, make sure you drop down to all panelists and attendees. That's right. Let's see. Really nice features, really promote the Google Meet with a virtual 101, great example. Okay. What is the Detroit Startup Week YouTube URL? Got it. Okay, Shopify and Google Analytics. I need Google for nonprofits biz. Hey, actually I do that one. I will be addressing that in coming up next month in reference to, what am I trying to say? In reference to Google for nonprofits. If you go in right now, Google for nonprofits has a significant amount of information and access for nonprofits, and you have to get into certain, you have to get certain approvals for that. You have to be aligned in certain nonprofit software that already approves. It is a process, so if you're not already in there, you know, it's just you got to go through the steps of nonprofit verification and different things like that. Let's see, what else y'all got? How would I set up a few of my clients on Google Store? So anytime you're doing anything for clients, number one, you have to go in, and I would suggest you you got to set up the profile, but you need to make yourself an administrator on their account. Because what happens is, I live in a world of a whole bunch of logins and URLs, and it's a nightmare. In all honesty, I can't keep up with it. And I've been doing this for years. So step one, you need to understand Google. You need to understand Google administrative rights and sharing administrative rights or whatnot. So that's number one. And that will allow you now to begin setting up stores on their behalf. There still will need to be an exchange of information, probably from your client, but that's a good way to start it. How can we effectively use Google for business? If I am running a consulting firm, can you be a little bit more specific? Is there one single place or app to manage G Suite domains, my business? Yeah. So really, if you go into, I believe it's admin.google.com, you should be logged into your account. You should go into your account, and what you will see is the administrative dashboard, and it will actually have all the different apps. What you probably have not also noticed is when you log into your Gmail, it's like 9 dots over at the top in the corner. Those are actually all your apps based in one area. So if you just do the drop down, that's where you can switch back and forth effectively. I'm home-based, so don't want my address hidden on Google Maps. How do I mask? Hey, Charles. So I did address that. You fill in your address, but you choose a service area. It will not list your address. It will not feature you on Google Maps. So that's how you mask it. It gives you the option to determine whether or not your business, again, is somewhere that people can come to and from. Google has become extremely sensitive to the home-based business community, and understanding that a lot of people are doing business online virtually. If I am running a data analytic consulting firm, is there a way to use Google for business to target potential clientele, which would be other businesses? I would just tell you, if you're a data analytic consulting firm, then you probably need to get the data that you are getting from Google Analytics, and you need to run ads to target your business towards those type of company. So understanding your keywords, understanding what you're selling, and you need to develop content that specifically targets them so you're relevant. Google does not read pictures, it reads words, right? We're still zeros and ones in the background to make everything happen. So your information that you need to be putting out needs to be relevant to what you're promoting. If it's not relevant, if you're talking about one thing, but Google starts going and trying to search your website and it's not related to that, Google, will actually say, hey, that's a disconnect. They said they were this in their description, but they're not. And it will determine your relevancy and your importance in your ranking. So it's very important for you to have keywords on your website, in your social media, anywhere that is connected back to your profile, that on your profile that ties back to your business. So again, relevancy. Google is a learning machine. The algorithms are learning. It is not stagnant. So if you're not aligning yourself to the algorithms and the things that support, that conversation, then you're going to, maybe struggle. What is the short name? A short name is the same as a handle, which is the short name for a business. So just like on social media, for me, it would be my name, Katrina Turnbow. Some people use, let's just say you got a long business name and you shorten it, let's see what's a good one? I don't know, because it's 5:37 on Friday and I'm trying to remember something, but, example, Detroit Startup Week. Just say the short name for Detroit Startup Week is the unique identifier that you shorten up your name if it's a really long name. And it is DSW, Detroit Startup. It could be DSW 2020. For this conference, that's just like how you shorten up names to use for a hashtag. But once you create that short link, it should match your overall brand in your business. And then you should be able to connect that with other users. Excuse me, you should be able to give that to other users so, so they can connect with you. I'm just taking pictures because it's a lot of y'all in here. How do you format it? That's when you go through your Google My Business and you format it by, you format it and you put it in that system, in that linking system, and then you basically it will register. Okay, we on a roll. We are on a roll. I had also asked, let's drop in some other comments too here. What type of topics? What are you struggling with in business? You know, where are you having a hard time? And I'm not just talking about if you're I'm not talking about if you are just a small business owner. I know everybody is not a small business owner. What do you need help with in terms of maybe your issues on the digital divide? It could be resumes. It could be, how do you more effectively search on YouTube? I don't know. Find customers as a new business. What do you mean find customers as a new business? What do you mean by that? Are you saying you want to find new customers for your business? No one wants. Oh, no one wants to try new guys. Yes, they do. If you are solving people's problems, if you are answering, challenges, if you have a product that resonates with people, they will try the new guy. Number one, your first step is not approaching this in what people won't do. You need to figure out what people will do. What you cannot do in the world of sales, and I'm a salesperson by trade. What you have to do and understand is, number one, have confidence in yourself and your business and your product. Because if you don't want to use it, if you are already talking about, I'm the new guy, I only know you're the new guy because you told me. So your job is to be the new guy. That's fine. But you don't have the luxury of acting like the new guy. So what you have to do is stand on your service, stand on your product, stand on your expertise, and you keep talking and selling and marketing until you get a sale. You get one, then you're going to have two, then you're going to have four, then you're going to have 20. And you have to put the blinders on. I would tell anybody right now, as they say, fail fast. Fail fast. And yes, be the new guy and communicate what we will do. And when you communicate what you will do, you have to do it. Because the next thing that's going to come behind that is a review, a testimonial. And the more you get, the better you're going to be. And now you're not the new guy. And now you have a boatload of testimonials to support who you are. So, you cannot come into being an entrepreneur nervous. You can't. You have to make a decision. This is what you're going to do. And you're going to have to figure it out. And you have to have the confidence to move forward through it. Taking a brick and mortar cooking school that's mid-startup and go online to sell lessons and merch, trying to pivot like a center. That's a good one. That's a good one, Deborah. Okay, I have a dilemma. I work in a salon, one of my favorite industries, but I have my own brand and process independent of the shop itself. Okay, I'd still like to attract walking traffic for my services and brand. How can I do this if the shop has its own Google listing? Oh, good one. The only way that you could do it as its own Google listing is if it had a suite number. That is the only way you can do it. Outside of that, you cannot do it as a Google listing that way. So I would tell you to get a little bit more creative, maybe talk to the owner of the salon. To be honest with you, they probably don't even know. Like if you told them like, hey, I got to use this address, but I'm suite 2A, it sounds like if you're in a salon, you paying booth rent. It's not like somebody is going to walk in and they're going to take your customers. Again, from a salon standpoint, you know, we are all loyal to our stylists for the most part. So you just need to make sure that you're branding yourself properly, have a conversation with them. And if they say no, listen, all right, go ahead and use the service area. You just gonna have to play around and just kind of mull over what do you think would work. I would need to think about it a little bit more. I know I can come up with something. I'm generally able to come up with relatively creative ways to get where I want to be. Having difficulty finding a reasonable copywriter to create content in web design. Try Fiverr, try Upwork. There's a young lady, her name is Sierra, Ciera. Is it Sierra Sase? Like Aisha Sase? Oh God. As a matter of fact, she's on one of my shows. I'm just forgetting her last name properly, but I believe it's Seasay. She's a copywriter. So yeah, you need to look at that. But I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. There's also there's another website called Access Writer, ACCESE Access ACCESSWIRTER. Access Writer. Check that out. That's a writing website. If you start, and what they do is they charge by the word and the level and different things. That's a job though. So go ahead and try those few out, but you should find a good one. Hi. If you have a travel or lifestyle blog and don't have a physical location, how can you utilize Google My Business? Heidi, you are able to service areas. Actually, you can put in the United States, I believe. I believe you can actually, still choose a broad area. I have to double check. There are some limitations when it comes to being featured on the map. However, all the other things of Google My Business, you will be able to use. So calls, driving traffic to your website. I believe it will remove the directions if you don't have a brick and mortar like an e-commerce store, which again, you can still be found online. Heidi, I would actually tell you to look up Fashion Nova. I mean, I would do it. We can do it later, but look up a couple of online stores and lifestyle bloggers, especially some of those that are really big on YouTube, because they're going to come up on Google My Business. Because the intent is for it to be the Google My Business and Maps. The intent is to be able to serve local businesses. So Heidi, I would tell you maybe using a anchor location, right? Just using an anchor city territory to get you on the map, but leveraging it from a national perspective. Oh, okay, cool. I added United States as a service area since we've changed to online for brick and mortar. Oh, for fitness. Cool. Yep. That's what I thought. I was remembered off the top of my head. So, and Heidi, I know, you're probably global or whatnot. So just go ahead and at least start there. I would tell you to start with your predominant regions. And that's not going to limit you to how people find you though. At the end of the day, that's an anchor. You can still use keywords. You're still going to come up. But again, as it specifically attaches to local business and being found on the map like that, that's how it's serving that purpose. So it's not going to limit you. It's not going to cut you down. But what it will say, if someone is looking for a travel agent, travel business within the city of Detroit, and they are very specific and they're adamant about that, yes, it's going to target. So, and that probably won't be your customer anyway for who you're looking for, but it's something to play around with. But thank you, Jahara, for chiming in. Glad that worked out for you and that was able to serve, support and serve you. How we doing? We got more questions. Okay, now that I got more people on here, I'm gonna ask the same question again. Are you tired of Zoom calls? Are you tired of virtual calls? Or are you good with them? Because I'm getting ready to do like 20 next month. So I need y'all to tune in. How can Google help do live or stored classes that I sell? I'm going to tell you now, you need to find a platform that does that. That is not what Google is for. Start with Teachable. I'll tell you right now, go to Teachable. Start there and do Teachable similar. It's a keyword, similar sites. If you say sites similar to, and then use Teachable, there are a few of them. So understand what the platform is to be used for. That's one of the mistakes I believe we make sometimes. Google does a lot, but it doesn't do everything. Let's just give an example here. Who remembers Google Plus? Where's Google Plus now? That's all I'm gonna say.
I can't help it.
But that's not a bad thing. You know why? Because just like any other startup or business, if 90% of the stuff works and the one thing sucks, well, it sucked and you're not using it no more. That was their attempt to get in the social media space. They did not do it. They did not win. That was not a win for Google.
Not at all. And I was in college when that happened. I was in college. So if you were going to catch me, Google.
I think there are still some remnants or some things connected to it, but who's talking about that? That would be nobody.
No one. So, if anything, I'm a little hurt because, like I said, I still miss my hangouts. But people keep saying it's meat.
It is.
And meat doesn't feel like hangouts. I don't know.
Oh, well, yeah, but you can still do it the same way. It still interacts. You can still do it through your chat and different things. So that was the robustness, the evolution of.
Yeah. It was definitely bad. Did you guys say Google Plus? See that face they put in the comments, Deborah put next to the Google Plus. See, we all had that same face, didn't we? We remember it, not super old, but it is definitely not around anymore. If you guys have any questions for Katrina while we still have her here, we do have a few more minutes left. It's 5:49. Honestly, I know you guys are over there working through the information she gave you and working on your Google business. I should be working on my Google business, okay? But I am here trying to make sure that any questions that you may have for Katrina, we want to get those out right now. Okay?
I'm just putting my link tree in there again that has the remaining classes. I'll be using that upcoming for the rest of probably the year, to be honest with you. I do a lot of stuff, y'all, all over the place, trying to compartmentalize. But the one thing I'm consistent about is all related to digital and technology. I actually do a lot more in entrepreneurship. I have some cohorts that I'll be teaching in the fall. Okay, Charles, is there a way to connect Facebook biz page to Google biz page? No, I take that back. Actually, yes. If you put in the Facebook, if you go to Google My Business and you take the Facebook business URL and put it in there, it actually will accept it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because that was my website for the longest. I'm not even gonna kid you. My Facebook Facebook business web URL was my website for a while. Yeah.
So I put in my link tree, Charles. You just got it. Okay. Yeah, that's the link, you guys. That takes you to my social media. You can text me. That's my little walking connector, because again, so many platforms, fragmented all over the place, even being able to put in video and I'm telling y'all, I'm stepping my game up too. I'm leveling up. Things have changed. Sometimes I feel like a dinosaur in the industry. But I just got a lot of experience and things are moving really, really fast. I would tell you guys someone asked, make sure you got a good writer. Our sister right here, tell them your stuff, because she actually does production and media and video.
I do. I am a digital media producer by trade. I am involved in Startup Week because I am also an entrepreneur. That's the thing about Startup Week. It's awesome because it is entrepreneurs who put this together. And so that's how I got involved in this wonderful event. And I was always involved in just wanting to learn from these things. So as an entrepreneur who started my own media production company, I produce digital media in the form of film, television, radio. I also do a lot of live streaming capacity, obviously. But yeah, I'm a digital media professional as an entrepreneur for sure. So working independently. And obviously, as any of us will know, just as strong as the network and the connections that we make and putting ourselves out there. Like I said, I was listening about this business page. I need to go and, because I know I claimed mine several years ago when I did have an actual address for my studio. But my studio has moved. It was in Eastern Market at the time before it was purchased. But since then, I haven't really gone back to my business page through Google because, yeah, I thought it was a little bit more location based. I definitely was using it a lot more at the time because of the location based benefits. But because I didn't have a brick and mortar, I didn't have a place for people to walk into, I didn't keep up with that business listing, that Google business listing specifically. But yeah, for sure, that's me. It's Precious Media LLC, by the way, you guys. That is me. That's my company. A lot of people refer to me as Precious. It is my artist name. So either way, I answer to both Ivana or Precious.
So you need to be able to do video these days. You need to be able to write, and you need to be able to story tell. That's what life is about.
It sure is. It sure is. Life is nothing but stories.
Yes, life is nothing but stories. And you actually, Instagram, I don't know if everybody got him. My better half, fiance, boyfriend, all those special things. His Instagram updated, and it's literally 2 rows now of the stories. And I was like, what? So again, the structure of social media.
2 rows?
Yep, it's 2 rows at the top. So literally now you can just keep scrolling, people's stories and stuff. It's wild.
Stories.
So you got to be able to tell stories. When it's all said and done, what's your brand story? And listen, don't overwhelm yourself. Pick one story for the quarter. Just make it all connect. But maybe this month you're telling people about why the location you chose, or okay, your specials of the month. I don't know, but just be clear and concise. Could you post your link, Miss Host? Yes.
See this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put we're gonna put
your stuff in here.
I'm gonna put this I'm gonna have you guys check.
See, this is about empowerment. When it's all said and done, economic empowerment and connectivity is what this is all for. It's all about, it's good to have giggles and laughs and smiles, but everybody got to eat. Okay.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got to eat. And you know what? Everybody has to have their purpose and their vision fulfilled. And if you notice, those who don't have a vision, a purpose, or some direction, they're just out here flailing about, you'll actually notice oftentimes that, they may not value or connect to life as vibrantly as you, and put it that way.
That's true. That's very true. So those are the things that I can provide for you guys. And technically speaking, as she said, if you Google my business name, Precious Media LLC, you will find my Google business listing. So yes, I have my LinkedIn up there as well as my video page. So you guys can go and check that out if you'd like to see any of my work.
The link is exactly how I put it, Charles. So Linktree is it's the way, put the dot there with the backslash. And if you just copy that whole URL, it'll go right there. That's actually how it is.
Mm-hmm. Nice. It is 5:55. Thank you so much, Charles. You guys are awesome. I love these participants. It's kind of weird because here I am concluding my last seminar of the week and I feel bittersweet. Thank you so much, Katrina, for being here with us and departing all of this wonderful information onto us. Like I said, I definitely need this as a refresher. I didn't realize how behind I was with the updates that you guys got going over there at Google Business.
Yeah. They did a lot. I can honestly say too.
You don't even need, like you said, you don't even need your own website. I'm over here stressing out as an entrepreneur, trying to get a coder, trying to build a website.
Just go to Google My Business and start there. Like everybody, and I'll take my own advice, quit tripping. Because I stay tripping on something regularly. Okay. Mm-hmm. I can be real extra, and that's a blessing, but find the simplest thing. Just do that. Do one thing a day. Just, look at the simplest version of what your life can be. He said, Gerard was saying, I'm telling you, my eyes are red from updating this site, trying to keep customers doing the slow time. It's hard.
Yeah, it
You
is
don't need to be
hard.
focused on the site. You need to be focused on your content.
Right.
Your website needs to be able to update on its own by you just producing content. If you're trying to update your site too often and you don't have enough connected, you are going to be doing too much work. You're going to literally be exhausted. And it's hard. Don't get me twisted. Just because it's simple does not mean it's easy. Simple means from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is just a clear, clean process. But that does not mean the process from getting from A to B is going to be easy. It's simple in concept, but it's a lot of work that goes in between each step. So don't overdo your work, I guess you could say.
Thank you for dropping you guys' links. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but thank you for dropping you guys' links in here, you guys. Definitely networking with one another. Copy these links. You can definitely keep in touch with these people who are dropping their information as well. Thank you, Cornell. Thank you, Deborah. There we go. And thank you, Tressa, for helping Charles out. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing, honestly. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this week as well. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourself, Tressa. Life Water Support Services. There we go. And that's Charlena's business as well. So don't forget, you guys, Google yourselves, Google your businesses, go claim your listings. LinkedIn has coding books for like 10, 15 bucks. Please email me. Is that right, Cornell? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Shelly. Oh, you're so sweet. She said you both are amazing all week long. Hopefully we'll connect with you in the future. Thank you so much, Shelly. That's very sweet. I appreciate it. I still need to talk to my Boy Scout troop, Charles. Oh, that's right, because you teach astronauts. I remember. You teach the youth how to be astronauts.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Oh, Cornell says I can code part-time, no problem. Cornell dropped his email. You know what, you guys are awesome. You just want to help. You're all networking all of a sudden. Oh, see, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Tracy. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to copy and paste these notes, okay? If you don't have time to because they're going in, dropping in a lot of information. Copy and paste it into a different file. This will close in 1 minute, guys. We have to go. It is 6 o'clock. Thank you again, Katrina.
Thanks for having me.
It's always good to see your face. And thank you, guys. Definitely great week. Awesome week. If you took anything from this week, it's just know as an entrepreneur, there is a community out there that is willing to help you, okay? So you go and make sure you find your tribe. We will be here. Love you guys. Detroit Startup Week 2020. I am checking out. Have a good one.
That's a wrap.